everyone, welcome to Yahoo Finance Live. I'm Brad Smith alongside Diane King Hall. It is 3 p.m. here. Let's get you caught up to speed on the market action here. It all comes down to this. 1 hour left in trade. Take a look at the Dow, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ. All of them either at or near session highs right now. The Dow is higher by about 1.5%. S&P 500, you're seeing that higher by 1.5% on the button. And then the NASDAQ composite, that too. We'll just say 1.5%. Why not? Trifecta, hat trick. All the way across the board, you got the triple-double there. Here with more on the latest market action today, we've got our very own Jared Blikre. Jared, what are we saying?
All right, as you just said, we are seeing some nice up action. Really interesting. Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ all tied for about 1.4, 1.5% in gains. Russell 2000 taking a backseat today, although it has been surging recently. And we've got a number of milestones or potential headwinds in the rearview mirror right now. Of course, we had that big Fed meeting yesterday, the day before CPI. All of this started, I'm noticing this rally where we had this value and cyclicals finally back in play again. It started about 2 weeks ago, though, with that big jobs report at the beginning of the month for those May numbers where payrolls exceeded expectations. And now it's been off to the races. Let me just show you what's happened this week alone. Tech, guess what? Tech is not out anymore. It's in the forefront. Consumer discretionary, that's retail, also includes Amazon, communication services. The mega cap sectors leading again, but they're joined by materials and industrials, with staples taking a little bit of a back seat here. And if you look over the last 10 days, really pronounced to see the value and cyclical trade and the breadth of this rally expand. Something I'm writing about in the morning brief tomorrow. We've seen the cruise lines explode to the upside, and we can take a look at that real briefly, along with some other considerations here. And here's the travel reopening. This is over the last 4 days, but we can see Southwest Airlines, that had been in the red up until about 2 weeks ago. That's up 17% in 10 days. Delta Airlines, I think this is 15 days in a row that it's going to be green, something like that. It's up 18% over the last 10 days. Carnival Cruise Line's up 35%. That is one of the top performing names that we have over the last 2 weeks. So all put together, rally looking decent. However, I would put this in perspective. We're getting really overbought on some of the indices, especially the NASDAQ 100. That has just been going gangbusters. I'm going to show you here. Let me just pull this up. Over the last 2 years, we have now approached levels in the NASDAQ 100 we haven't seen for quite a long time. So it's going to be a big test to see if we can move beyond that. But in terms of risk, it's risk on today. I was down at the New York Stock Exchange earlier this morning, and I saw the Cava IPO. I saw them trying to open there, but there were more people on the floor than I have seen in years. And let's take a look at what's happening. That's Carvana. Let's see what's happening with Cava Group right there. Number one in our trending tickers list. You can see up and away the IPO price way down there by about, $21, $22, now trading at $43.50. That is a 100% gain. Very important signal for the capital markets that IPO is back in favor again. It has been a long time since we have seen a unicorn. And we also had Brooke DePalma, our own Brooke DePalma down there, interviewing the Cava CEO. And here's what he had to say.
We're focused on our long-term growth. We've got a tremendous unit economic profit engine. We saw in Q1 alone, we generated $50 million at the restaurant level. That's compared to $91 million all of last year. So very healthy margins at the restaurant level, and that's kind of the lifeblood, the oxygen of our business. And we've invested in significant infrastructure over the years, whether that's our manufacturing infrastructure, digital infrastructure, or all the new restaurants. All the new restaurants we've opened over the last few years, and all of that is now flowing into the business and really creating great tailwinds on that path.
Yeah, some interesting comments about the margins there and path to profitability. Almost difficult to hear. That's how many people were on the floor there. So nice to see. This is another form of the reopening, guys. Yeah,
Jared, certainly the market's very much ready for the reemergence of some of these IPOs to come back into the fray. Good stuff. Our own Jared breaking it down, and not to mention sprinting back from the New York Stock Exchange.